Parents, faculty, administrators, friends, families, and of course, our distinguished graduating class of 2011. Welcome to Northview High School's 9th annual graduation ceremony. We have sitting before us today Northview's absolute best and brightest. Diverse students who have grown together to become the strongest of friends. It seems like only yesterday when this roaming crew of Mustangs, Sharks, Falcons, Lions, Wolves, and others first crossed paths on their journey in becoming a Titan. Today, we hold our high school memories dear to our hearts and will never forget exactly where we all came from, Northview. Today, we celebrate. We celebrate our numerous accomplishments from the past 4 years and look forward to the bright future that lies ahead. We've already had our batch of Northview Firsts, stellar test scores, and state championships to call ourselves Northview's finest. But more importantly, together, we've learned the values of hard work and discovered the keys to success. No matter what we pursue, we've learned to keep our heads held high and encourage that same fighting spirit. As classmates, as friends, as Titans. As comedian Conan O'Brien once said, "If life gives you lemons, make some kind of fruity juice." As we soon take the next step towards our future, we can rest assured that our positive attitude will help us overcome any obstacle in life. Congratulations, Northview Class of 2011, and again, welcome.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Hunt, and I've been asked to introduce our guests tonight. And before I start, I'd like to say that our guests here have definitely accomplished a lot in their careers. But even more than that, they have definitely inspired us, they've led us, and they've also motivated us. And so as I see my graduating class here, the baton is being passed to us now. It's our time to inspire. We have to inspire people to live at a higher standard. I believe people should look at our class and see the way that we live our lives and be inspired to do better. Secondly, it is our time to lead. I believe that we should lead people in serving others. In our generation today, it's becoming a standard of selfishness, but I believe that we can lead by example and show others how to serve. And lastly, and most importantly, it is our time to motivate. I believe we must motivate people to find their purpose. God has a purpose for every single person's life. It's just a matter of finding the motivation to find your purpose and begin walking in it. And I'm happy to say the guests we have on this stage right now have done all these great things, and we thank you for being here. We thank you for your service. And if you would please stand as I call your name to be recognized. From Finley Oaks Elementary School, we have Principal Steve Curry. From Medlock Bridge Elementary School, we have Mrs. Margaret Pupillo. From Wilson Creek Elementary School, we have Mr. Jimmy Zoll. And from Shake Rag Elementary School, we have Mr. Martin Newhouse. And from River Trail Middle School, we have Mrs. Dawn Moline. We also have our assistant superintendent here, Mrs. Amy Krause, as well as our area superintendent, Mrs. Iris Moran. Thank you, it's been a pleasure to serve as your president this year. Ever upward and onward.
and fellow classmates. Today marks the start of a dangerous new journey into a brave new world. Stop me if you've heard this one before. We've all heard those cliché graduation speeches where the speaker addresses each senior class in the same manner, emphasizing the new chapter beginning in their lives. You know, it's quite ironic how we are constantly pushed to be unique, yet on one of the biggest days of our lives, they dress us all up in the same exact outfits. Well, I'm convinced that our class doesn't fit the mold of a normal graduating class. And that's what's driven me to speak in front of all of you. From the beginning, we were different. We were a class of firsts. We were the first freshman class who had more students attend sporting events than all the other classes. Our class rallied enough spirit to be louder than the other senior classes in pep rallies, contrary to what the judges determined. And this year, we've only increased that gap separating us from other classes. For pep rallies, we were the first class that attempted to coat the entire gym floor with baby powder and to have the whole senior class hide in the aux gym, even though we know seniors always win the spirit competitions. We made Monday night hockey one of the highest attended sports, and I believe one of the best known cheers. We embraced the fact that we are the most relentless, yet smartest fans at any sporting event, not afraid to turn to the SAT scores chant as a last resort if the other team got too far ahead. And over the years, we've had the ability to cheer on many teams in the state playoffs and finals, never missing a chance to storm the field, even if it was the only win for our football team all season. I'm fairly confident we were the first class to nominate our salutatorian as class flirt. And if he were not up against Felipe, he probably would have won. Sorry, Raza. In the past 2 Mr. NHS competitions, boys from our grade have dressed up as women and sang a duet, as well as shown us how ribbon dancing will one day lead to world peace. We are the most accepting and encouraging class, and by far the most persistent. I thought for sure Michelle Rucker would win something before we graduated, but you just can't compete with Annie Chow. We weren't the first class who survived the calc book, the bio and chem projects, and Mr. David, but we were the last class to have to suffer through Roland's poetry project. On top of everything else, we are an academically inspired class. We've made getting into the University of Georgia and Georgia Tech no big deal. Where at other schools, students can only dream to one day walk under the sacred arch in Athens and roam the streets of downtown Atlanta. Our class casually tosses around the names Harvard and Yale, and kids merely apply for fun, something only a Northview student would do. On a serious note, we came into Northview as we mourn the loss of a student, and we leave as the Titans again suffer through another loss, only growing stronger through the heartache. We lost some of our classmates along the way, but we persevered and didn't let that break us up. We couldn't have made it this far without the help of the administration and teachers. We've had the best of both worlds. Mr. Z for 2 years, Ms. Bala for 2 years. We couldn't have asked for a better 4 years. The teachers care about us each individually, although some like to pretend they don't. Nice try, Bombard. We know you love your students. It's been a long, yet rewarding 4 years, and it is bittersweet to see the good times end. But as we continue on to college, we all take with us the uniqueness and spirit shown by our senior class. No matter where we end up, Northview students will always be successful. Yes, we were a class of Titan first, but we will leave a lasting impression on the spirit and walls of Northview. I would like to end with a quote from our former President George Bush's graduation address to Yale, to show that there's truly hope for everyone and to settle the minds of even the most academically driven parents. He says, "To those of you who received honors, awards, and distinctions, I say well done. And to the C students, I say you too can be President of the United States." Thank you all for a memorable 4 years.
13 years ago, as we sat cross-legged on the floor of a kindergarten classroom, today seemed light years away. Diplomas, graduation, gowns, even high school itself seemed reserved for the big kids who knew everything about life and everything about themselves. We never thought that one day, those big, grown-up kids would be us. But time ticked by. Before we knew it, we were going to the movies without our parents, drinking Starbucks, sitting behind the wheel of a car, realizing that calculus is, in fact, possible, and learning how to fit 4 textbooks into a backpack and look cool at the same time. Today marks the culmination of a 13-year journey through reading, writing, adding, subtracting, pencils, paper, lockers, and lunchboxes. And today is above all a day to remember the people who walked beside us along the way. Today we remember the person who lent us her closed-toed shoes so we wouldn't fail a chemistry lab. We remember the person who drove us to school when we totaled our car and who offered us a shoulder to cry on. We remember the person who showed up with a plate of brownies just as we thought our day couldn't get any worse. And we remember the person who loaned us $2 so we could help save Japan and our AP Lit grade. We remember the person who believed in us when all we wanted to do was run away and join the circus. These people who walked beside us taught us invaluable lessons we never could have learned in a classroom. We might not remember how to take the integral of a logarithm function, or the name of the 23rd president, but we will remember the teacher who taught us to challenge ourselves, and to never settle for the easiest path. We learned that laughing at ourselves is the only way to be taken seriously, and we learned that a person can never get too old for peanut butter and jelly. Perhaps most importantly, we learned how just one small act, a lone pair of shoes, a ride to school, or even just a smile in the hallway, can truly go down forever in a person's memory. 13 years from now, today will be nothing more than a memory, a framed diploma and a graduation gown hanging in a closet somewhere. As we have learned, a lot can happen in 13 years. We will make new friends, take up new hobbies, discover who we really are, and smile at how little we really knew. 13 years, however, cannot wash away our feelings of excitement, fear, relief, and above all, togetherness. So look around at the nearly 580 blue gowns. Remember, and don't hold anything back. In the words of a movie brought to us by the last 13 years, we're all in this together. Congratulations, class of 2011.